Hi, 7th graders. We are on lesson 2-6, adding and subtracting fractions with unlike denominators. So unlike denominators is unlike fractions are when the denominators are different. So if you look at these two fractions, 4 and 3 are our denominators. They're different, so that makes them unlike fractions. So if we want to add or subtract unlike fractions, we need to rename the fractions with a common denominator, meaning we need to find a number that both 4 and 3 go into that we can change it, so then we can think back to 2, 5 and add our like fractions. So I know that 4 and 3 both go into 12. That 12 is both a factor of 4 and 3. So I'm going to change this so that my denominator is 12, and to do that, 3 times 4 is 12, so then whatever I do to the denominator, I have to do to the numerator. And then here, I know that 3 times 4 is 12, so then I do that to both. And we want to keep it nice and neat and organized, so we always want to rewrite it so that we don't make any mistakes. So I'm going to rewrite this as 3/12, and then I have plus -2 times 4. I put my negative sign with my numerator, so -8/12. And then I keep the denominator. 3 plus -8 is -5. So we have -5/12. And that is in simplest form. So that is my answer. Okay, -5/6 minus 1/2. Well, I know that both 6 and 2 go into 12, so we could change it to 12ths, but I also know that 2 goes into 6, so I'm just going to leave my -5/6, and I'm going to change this so that I have 6 as my denominator. And I know that 2 times 3 equals 6, so when I do that to the top, I'm going to rewrite it so I'm nice and neat. So -5/6 minus 3/6. And I'm going to change my subtraction. I'm going to do a chop minus. So chop minus, change it to addition, and then change the sign of the number right after my addition sign. So now I have -5 plus -3, so I have -8/6, which is an improper fraction. So forgetting about my negative for a minute, I just asked myself how many sixes go into 8, and there's 1. In front of my 1, I'm going to bring that negative sign back in. And then I know if I take 6 out of 8, I have 2 left over, and then I keep my denominator, which is 6, but I can see that I can simplify it even more, so I have -1, divide both the top and the bottom by 2, so I have -1 and 1/3, which is in simplest form, so that's my final answer. If we are adding or subtracting mixed numbers, well, the first thing that we want to do, just like if we're multiplying or dividing, is change it into improper fractions because it makes it a lot easier. So 9 times -6 is, or we just forget the negative for a minute actually. We do 9 times 6 is 54, plus 2, we get 56/9. We keep the bottom. And then we bring my negative back in. And then we do 6 times 4 is 24, plus 5 is 29/6. Now, I know that 9 and 6 both go into 54, and I could multiply this both by 6, this both by 9. I also know that they both go into 18, so to make it a little bit easier, I'm just going to change it to 18ths. So that means I have to go times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. So 56 times 2 is negative 112 over 18. And then I have 29 times 3 is 87. I know that 30 times 3 is 90. And then since it's 1 away from 30 times 3, so 1 times 3 is 3, subtract 3, that's how I get 87, over 18. So I have negative 112 plus 87, which results in negative 25 over 18. And hopefully you're thinking that's an improper fraction, so we need to change it to a mixed number. So how many 18s go into 25? 1. Bring my negative in front of my 1. 25 minus 18 is 7. Keep my denominator. Negative 1 and 7 18ths. Okay, if we have 2 and 3/4 minus 6 and 1/3. Pause me, try this on your own, come back and check your answer. So if I have 2 and 3/4, I'm going to change it into improper fractions. So 4 times 2 is 8 plus 3, so I have 11 fourths. 3 times 6 is 18 plus 1. 19/3. Now let's figure out, well, I know that they both go into 12, so we have times 3 times 3 times 4 times 4. So let's rewrite it. 33 twelfths minus 20, 40, 60, 80. And then minus 4, so 76 twelfths. So we have 33 minus 76. I'm going to change this to a chop minus, so plus negative. 33 plus negative 76. Well, if we think back, we have different signs for adding, and we have different signs. We subtract. So 76 minus 33 is 43, and then I keep the sign of the bigger number, so negative 43 over 12. Okay, then we can simplify. I know that 12 goes into 43. We have 12, 24, 36, and then 48, which is too much, so 12 goes into 43 3 times. If I pull out, well, 12 times 3 is 36. So if I pull out 36 from 43, I have 7 left. And then I keep my denominator. And my negative needs to go in there too. So my answer then is negative 3 and 7/12. Okay, 4 students volunteered to work at an animal shelter. They worked 2 1/3 hours, 1 5/6, 2 1/4, and 1 7/8. How much time did they volunteer in all? Well, to start this problem, I wrote it out to save us a little bit of time. How much time did they volunteer in all? So that tells me that it's going to be addition. So we're going to add all of these together. Okay? Well, the first thing that I'm going to do is I am not going to add my whole numbers. I'm going to show you this trick in class tomorrow instead. So I'm going to rewrite it. I'm actually going to redo all of this. And this is a 6. Correct? 1 5/6. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to change my color, is I'm going to change them all into mixed numbers. So you can go ahead and do that, and you can try to finish it if you would like. So 2 1/3, so we have 7 thirds. And then 6 times 1 is 6 plus 5, so 11 sixths. 4 times 2 is 8 plus 1 is 9 fourths. And then 8 times 1 is 8 plus 7 is 15 eighths. I don't know why the marker is being kind of funny right now. So I look at 3, 6, 4, and 8, and I know that all of them go into 24. So I'm going to figure out what am I going to do to each one to make it 24. Well, 3 times 8, 6 times 4, 4 times 6, 9 times 6, 8 times 3, and 15 times 3. Okay, so I have this problem started for you. I want you to finish it and bring your answer to class tomorrow. So just think about this. Once you have it all rewritten with your common denominator, then it may be easier add these together and then add the third one and then add the fourth one. And then remember you need to write it as a mixed number in simplest form. Okay? And then when you're done with this problem, circle it so it's easy for you to show me when you come to class, and then take 2-6 NICU quiz. I wrote myself a little note to remind you that on your vocab sheet you can fill in like fractions, unlike fractions, and if you haven't already filled in numerator and denominator, you should be able to fill that in from today's lesson as well.